All right, we are on our last official lesson for chapter 9. We will have a review packet to help you get ready for the summative, and then our summative will be on Thursday, due by the end of the day on Friday, June 5th. For this problem, we are going to be looking at a person named Shopping Shirley who has won a shopping spree from Dacey's department store. She can spend up to $150 on anything in the store. During Dacey's deal days, the store marks down its prices and pays for all sales tax. Shirley would like to buy each of the items shown in the table below. She knows the original price of each item as well as the marked discount for each of them. Our task: work to figure out whether Shirley can afford to buy everything she wants. If not, recommend to her what she should buy to get the most out of her shopping spree. Things to think about: how can we find the percent? What does this amount represent? And how much will she have to spend? And we already know she has $150, so we're going to go ahead and just write that down so we remember that amount. And as we move into the problem, I have combined 49 and 50, and we're going to be looking at some of the more specific things in 50 to begin with. Shirley was trying to calculate the sale price of the scarf that she wants after its original price of $37 is marked down 20%. She got out her notepad and sketched the picture below to help her visualize the problem. This is a percent ruler, and many of you have seen these. I find them very helpful for me to try to figure out portions of different quantities. And we are asked to interpret the diagram and explain what $3.70, $7.40, and $29.60 mean in relation to the cost of the scarf. If I look at her diagram, she has a 100% is $37. If I think about that, when I am going to use the percent ruler, you know that I like to figure out the 10% at the very least. That helps me figure out so much more in the problem. So 100 divided by 10 gives me 10%. 37 divided by 10 gives me $3.70. So $3.70 is 10% of $37. When we look up here, 20% is, or $7.40 is 20%. 20% of 37. And when we look at her percent ruler, she has the 20% here and the 80% here. And we've got the 80% labeled on the bottom with how much percent it is, and with the sale price of the scarf up above. So $29.60 is 80% of 37, or the sale price. And it's asking us to enter the sale price of her scarf in the table on the next page. And so that I can remember, I like to bring that previous page with me, and I'm going to write down 2960 right here, 2960. Now, as we look at this table, when we look at this table, we have a lot of area here in the discount part of our table. And that's because I am going to work some of these problems to demonstrate, to remind us how we can use what we've learned and practiced at different times of the year to help us as we're trying to figure out this real life problem situation. 20%, we know from our portion ruler, or excuse me, our portion web, that 20% is equivalent to 2/10 in a decimal form written like that. Now, in order to find out the 20% in a different way than using the percent ruler, I can multiply the new written form of 20% 2/10 times the original price. And when I do that, I already know that that gives me 7 and 4/10 because that was on the previous page. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my original price, subtract my sale price or my percent discount, and handy dandy calculator, we have 37 subtract $7.40. And we get 29 and 6 tenths. But when we write things as money, we like to write them with the two decimal places. The dress shoes are next. First thing that I do is I change the 15% to 0 and 1500ths. I multiply that times 56, and that gives me my savings. So the discount, this is my money saved. And when I put this into my calculator, I can put in 1500ths times 56, and I get 8.4 or 8 and 4 tenths. I rewrite that again, taking some of the important things. I take my original price and I rewrite it over here, and I subtract this amount from it. And when I do that, I'm going to put in my calculator 56, subtract 8 and 4 tenths, and I get $47.60. Remember, we want to write that money in a correct form, so we have two decimal places. I'm going to keep moving at this speed that I'm going. If you need to pause and replay, please go ahead and do that, and just keep working through the video as you work through these problem situations. This one here is a little bit tricky because 5% is equal to 0 and 0.5 or 500ths. This is a smaller amount than this one is. So if I just move the decimal place one movement over, I'm going to end up having something that looks like 50%. So I need to really think about how special and unique these percents are when they're only in they have one place value space. All right, so we're going to multiply 500ths times 30. And again, need to make sure I put that 500ths in times 30, and I get $1.50 or 1 and 5 tenths. And again, I rewrite this, taking my original price of 30, subtract my percent of savings, my discount. And so I have 30 subtract 1 and 5 tenths, and that gives me 28. And remember, we're writing not just 28 and 5 tenths, we're writing it as $28.50. This next one, I can rewrite 25% as 25 hundredths. Multiply that times 36. 25 hundredths times 36 gives me 9. So my next step is to do 36. And I highlighted the wrong thing there, but that's okay. We're going to take this number over. 36, subtract what I got for my answer, subtract 9, and that gives me $27. Next one, I'm going to go ahead and rewrite that percent. Remember, when the technical math way of doing this is we take our percent number divided by 100, and that turns it into the decimal point for me. And we've done this since probably sometime in the middle of September. So now we're going to be multiplying 12 hundredths times 45. and we get 5 and 4 tenths. We are going to bring that 45 over, and subtract 5 and 4 tenths. 45, subtract 5 and 4 tenths gives me 39.60. And the last one I'm going to do a little bit differently. This last one, if I know that 21 is my original price, I can do 21 divided by 3 because that will give me what each third is of the 21. And 21 divided by 3 is 7. And so I can subtract, I can do 21, take away 7, and that gives me 14.